Ah, yes. Here we are again, the faded Ubisoft operator balancing graph. You love to see it. The operator graph is like somewhat confusing to me because I'm looking at these attacker icons and Thatcher is overpicked and too strong. Zofia is overpicked and too strong, even with the recoil nerf. Ash is overpicked too weak, even though we put them there as Ubisoft because we nerfed her recoil, but you know, I digress. And Sleds is overpicked and too weak. But for some reason, we decided to remove his SMG-11. I'll get to that a little bit later. And the same thing with defense. Clearly Ubisoft is not touching Mozzie or Valk. That's just not happening. But then we look at the overpicked too weak area and Legion is weak, Cade is weak, Smoke is weak. I'm confused. Like maybe they'll go into detail with what they see or what they think about this graph here, but those operators to me are pretty much in a good spot right now. I don't know, maybe I'm out the loop. Y'all let me know in the comments below if y'all think if this graph is correct or not, because I'm confused. But all the way over here at the 70% column, we got Jaeger. And do we not remember that Jaeger had at least 2 or 3 nerfs to him with how the ADSs work and then the recoil change? And then we're still confused as to why he's too weak, but he's overpicked. Yeah, because we need him. Because who wants to use Wamai over Jaeger? Well, I guess y'all forcing us into that spot with these nerfs, huh? But while he might be weak with the gun and stuff like that, I still feel more comfortable playing the Jaeger over a Wamai, just because I just know how to use them more. I guess maybe that's the reason. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people feel the same way. And Bandit been the same since release, minus the removal of the ACOG though. Recipes ACOG. But it is harder to bandit trick anything now with like the way the game has advanced and people knowing how to remove his batteries from everywhere. Like if people go above the garage, if you're playing on console, they could just open the floor and get the batteries. Or if you play in Clubhouse in the server site, they could just, same thing, open the floor from below and get the batteries off. But I don't really see UV making a change to bandit because, well, why would they? What exactly is strong about Valk though? Like with the IQ change, it's gonna be easier to spot the cams because it's literally gonna be an icon on her screen, like her gadget screen on her wrist. Look at that. Oh, there's gonna be like no confusion from like if you see a little ball, oh, is that a camera? I gotta go for that. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's actually gonna show that it's a camera on her little wrist thing. So all you gotta do really is to bring an IQ for Valk. So what exactly makes her so strong? But you know, in my rank, who plays operator counters anyways, you know? When you can pick an entry operator and just proceed to go 0-6 for the game, because that's how you play Siege in low plat, right? But anyways, I struggle to see how Valk is overpicked and too strong at the same time, and the same thing goes for Mozzie. Like I said, these graphs have been all over the place, and I hope they detail the data shown, because you know, that's what you're really supposed to do in a patch notes about operator balancing. You know, I'm not really a dev or nothing, but you know, I just pretend to be one on Valorant. But moving on to the operator ban rates, the homie Thatcher is still at the top. Even with a rework, how in the world could that be possible? And Jackal too. It's almost like people don't like their utility no matter how much you tweak it. Go figure. And then we have Mirror and Valk taking the top picks on the defense side, as I went over before. But the thing about Mirror is like, well, the same thing. Their utility is like mad annoying to deal with besides having common sense and bringing the IQ, like I said, for Valk mains on the enemy team. But Mirror legit just raises my blood pressure every time I see her. It's like I'ma literally pass out if I push into an area and I just see a black mirror. Just render me useless, because that's it for the round for me. I'ma just lay down, set my gun down like, hey, listen, team, y'all forgot how to push this site, because it's over with for me. But now that you can melee the mirrors and crack them like you can the new operator shield, like it's gonna be less annoying to deal with, in my opinion. So maybe that's why they made that change in the first place. But before we get to the ops getting buffs and nerfs, right, Ubisoft finally did it. My screen will not shake like I'm in Nam when the thermite charge goes off no more. Bro, thank you for listening to the community, Ubisoft. Thank you. Hallelujah. Man, say no more. I'm logging into Siege right now. Oh, wait, I gotta finish this video. So the moment we've all been waiting for, we finna get to the meat right here. Is the operator changes. I know y'all be waiting on these buffs. I get it. I understand. It took me a minute, but we here now. So let's go over it. So they don't have anything here for Osa. You know, she ain't really getting the buff for a nerf because she just came out. So that ain't something we gonna see until the test server actually gets going. And they actually delayed her for a day. So we're not gonna be able to see what she able to do until tomorrow. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and tomorrow I'm gonna make a video on that. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all go ahead and subscribe for that. But the first thing we're gonna get into is Finka. So what they did was they added frag grenades and they removed her hard breach charge. Now, didn't she have frag grenades when she first came out? Because if I remember correctly, when she first released with Lion, ooh, that was a hard few weeks of Monster Siege, bro. I got PTSD just thinking about it. But when she released with Lion, I'm pretty sure she had frag grenades, if I'm not mistaken, and they removed her because they thought she was too strong. But now they adding them back because they think she's too weak. But I don't think people are not using her for like because her loadout is terrible, or not even that it's all that terrible. I think people are not using her because when people do the Finka boost, sometimes it messes how people's recoil handling is in the game, if that makes sense. Like, you ever been in a gunfight and you get Finka boosted and there is like, you know, minimal recoil, yeah, but you used to like how the game shoots and stuff like that, or how you shoot with the gun, that it kind of throws you off when you get Finka boosted, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what they're talking about with effective coordination with the team. I don't know. So I can't say this is like really good or bad because I don't really play a lot of Finka. I don't really see a lot of Finka either. So just giving her nades is, I don't think that's gonna up her presence anywhere, but I don't know, we'll see. So the homie Fuse, bro, what they did to his cluster charges, yo, this may be one of the most interesting changes in this whole patch. So the cluster charges can be deployed on reinforced surfaces now, and on Mirror's Black Mirror. You can fuse the mirror. Of course, they're gonna have, you know, time to get out because it's gonna take longer. It takes about 3 seconds to pass through the reinforcement. So they're gonna have time to, you know, get up out that closet that they playing in with that mirror. We all know what they're talking about. Extension tube is now vulnerable for damage. Now look, the way this is gonna work is, because I watched a little demo video, when you put the fuse on the wall and you hear it coming through the wall, you can actually shoot it to delay it or destroy it. So having it go through the black mirror is okay, like, you know, fusing the mirror, but the fact that you can shoot it is like, that makes it balanced on both sides. If it was something that's indestructible, it's like, yo, I feel like that would probably need a change. But those people that think the fuse thing is OP, it's not really OP, and they go into why. Now that they could be deployed on reinforced surfaces, electricity can be used to effectively destroy it. That's something for Bandit Arcade. It also won't trigger if it's within range of mute signal disruptor. Although if the disruptor is placed once the cluster charges have already been triggered, it won't have any effect. So you can't trick like the fuse. Once the fuse thing is there and it's going off, you can't run up in there and put a mute jammer to stop it. Like, it's over with for you, big dog. Get up out that room. The charge will now take longer to drill through Castle's armor panel and Mirror's Black Mirror, making them a little more reliable. So that's a little slight buff in terms of Castle, but we seen where that man was on the graph, man. Come on now. We need a better rework than that. Go ahead and rework him. So for Yana, they moved the 2x scope from the G3 and they moved the 2.5x scope from the ARX. This is probably a good change, and I think they're gonna go ahead and give her like the ass treatment. They're giving her the ass treatment right now. Most likely, if people still picking her after they remove these scopes from here, they most likely gonna do something with the recoil of those guns too. But that's also gonna affect Nomad too, so I don't know if they want to go in that direction. But I definitely see Yana getting the ass treatment here. So on to IQ that we talked about earlier. She can use the ping 2.0 through walls, right? And can also ping operators with wearable electronic devices like visual, or if somebody's defusing the bomb, she can actually ping it. When it comes to intel gathering, IQ has historically been a solid pick. You need to tell people in Plat that, because they do not understand. We've updated IQ's electronic detector to now use 2.0 system when scanning for electronics. This means that IQ no longer needs to use comms to contextualize pings. Ooh, that's a big word. I almost stumbled. Once pinged with the electronics detector, the rest of the team has the most important intel at the ready on screen. The goal here is to make IQ even more effective in her intel gathering role and make it easier to share information if voice comms aren't available. Hallelujah. They realize people don't use mics. If you watching this video, don't use your mic. Listen, turn your mic on. That go for any game. Valorant, Siege. I don't care if you playing COD. Well, competitively probably, but go ahead and turn your mic on, man. I don't care if you a squeaker, quote unquote squeaker. I don't care what you sound like, all right? Comms is better, and comms make us win games. I'm sick of losing my elo to people that don't know or don't want to talk, all right? Stop doing that. So on to mute. So they changed the shape of the radius that basically stuff is going to be disrupted by the mute jammer. They changed it to a spear instead of a cylinder. So it's more of like a circle zone. So it's gonna affect stuff the same way basically, but since it's now a spear, it's not gonna get stuff that's like high up, like the top of a soft wall, you know what I'm saying? Or the top of a reinforced wall. So now if you can blow the top of a wall, you could possibly get an angle to destroy the mute chamber and get the rest. But I mean, people really run Maverick and just nade it, or they Maverick trick the wall anyway, so this not really like that big of a deal to me. But that's all they doing for mute. We gonna move on to Sleds. Hold up. They did what to Sledge? They removed the SMG-11. Do they think people not gonna bring Sledge because he don't have an SMG-11? Or like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. This is weird to me. This change is weird. This is something that they definitely did not need. They definitely didn't need to remove this man's secondary like that. But maybe people are like insane with it at like the top rank in Pro League, because this is where it says the population that's targeted by this change. So maybe it's just they want to they tired of seeing it. They tired of seeing the SMG-11, I guess, of Sledge. I have no clue. Yeah, Ubisoft, you missed me with this one. We gonna keep it going. We gonna move on to Twitch. So now Twitch has a regular drone during the preparation phase, and y'all know, now you can change your operators in prep phase. Like, that's coming. That's why they giving her one regular drone, because if you want to switch your operator, they don't want to like have it buggy, I guess, when you switch from like Twitch that got a shock drone to like somebody else that don't have a shock drone, of course. So that's why they did that. The shock drone can now jump, that's good, because I'm tired of like playing speed racer when somebody see my Twitch drone and just trying to get out of there as fast as I can. So I'm glad they added that. The shock drone's damage has been changed from a taser to a laser. So that means it has infinite range and it doesn't disable electronic devices. So I guess we talking about like Maestro's, Evil Eye, or like bulletproof cams or stuff like that. It don't disable all that no more. And it has an infinite range. And the shock drone now has a larger bullet collision. It's double the size, so maybe it's easier to hit. Wow, rest in peace my whole opinion of trying to get away. I'm still gonna have to play speed racer, and it's gonna be easier for them to hit me. That is crazy. But I think this is a good change for Twitch. Like, this is good for her utility. Now, if only y'all could do something about that recoil. Some people say it ain't bad, but if y'all do something, just tweak that recoil a little bit more. I might have to be a Twitch main this season. Who knows? So now to the AK-12. This is the last thing that we're gonna touch on. So earlier, when I was reading the few patches, they said they increased the recoil in the AK-12. So this is what they meant. Instead of it going vertically, it's gonna go vertical and to the right. So you're gonna have to pull down and to the left in order to control it. With the way it is on like the live server right now, it seems like it's easier to hit the shots with the AK-12. Like, the AK is good. We felt that when they first came out with Ace, and everybody was picking him like, yo, the AK is actually good, man. He got the AK and he's a hard breach, y'all, say less. Now the bullets are like, they're still kind of close, but they're spread apart and they going to the right. So I'm just gonna have to see how that feels in game. But that's it for the operator balancing patch. I'm gonna get on the test server and test all this out today and tomorrow, and we'll see how all this stuff feels. So either sometime tomorrow or the day after, I'll have a video with the new op saying what I think of her, and along with some gameplay. So if y'all want to subscribe and stick around with that, just go ahead and hit that red button at the bottom. It's free and it helped me out, so go ahead and hit that. But that's all I got for y'all for today's video. I'm gonna go ahead and knock some Siege out, a little bit of Siege, and I'm gonna go ahead and get on some Valorant too. I don't know, who knows, go ahead and get slapped in that real quick. Slapped in 2 games at once. What a joy it is. What a time to be alive.